hate what Disney has done to Spider-Man in recent years with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. That flat film that they just lay on everything that makes everything looks like it has no contrast, bruh. Welcome back to the reaction channel. Today it's gonna be me, it's gonna be chat, and we are reacting to a video from the one, the only, the homie. New Rockstar Spider-Man brand new day teaser, new suit, Hulk and Mr. Negative confirmed. Let's get into it. This is the one with Tom Holland, not the one with Mr. Miles Morales. How do you say? My name is Miles Morales. Ooh, there it goes.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and Spider-Man Brand New Day just revealed its first look at Peter's suit in the film coming next summer. The next MCU film after Fantastic Four First Steps.
Also, great movie. W Fantastic Four, we support. In my opinion, better than Superman, but I will get stoned for saying that, so.
It seems like Mr. Negative might be the villain of this story based on some clues we saw. In this video, I'm gonna break down everything we just
That's Mr. Negative? Yo, he was giving me work in the video games. Oh my gosh.
How Frank Castle the Punisher is gonna fit into the story, how Bruce Banner the Hulk could tie in, if that is indeed happening, and just a full status check-in on the MCU on this road to Avengers Doomsday. And it was just confirmed by The Hollywood Reporter that Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner the Hulk, will join the cast of Spider-Man Brand New Day. So yeah, I'm gonna
Wait. Is Bruce Banner joining the Spider-Man cast, or is the Hulk joining the Spider-Man cast? If it's Bruce Banner, I'm not gonna lie, get him out of my movie, bro. And if it's Hulk, as in Hulk that is freaking sweet, I ain't gonna lie, get him out of my movie. But if we talk about the Hulk, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we lit.
Into that in this video too. And an announcement, New Rockstars has a new podcast series called Who Invited This Nerd? Where in the first episode, I talk about my crazy experience at San Diego Comic Danger Room pod. Sneak peek audio. Okay, earlier today, the social channels of Marvel and Sony shared this 9-second clip that showed close-ups of Peter Parker's new suit.
Shoot, bro.
Hell yeah, we got some raised webbing here, boys.
I like it. Yeah, it's none of that flat stuff. Thank goodness they got away with that flat matte suit. People are excited about the fact that they got raised webbing on the suit. Bro, I'm happy because I don't see none of that flat matte ugly Disney filter that they be putting over movies, bro. I hate what Disney has done to Spider-Man in recent years with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. That flat film that they just lay on everything that makes everything looks like it has no contrast, bruh. It looks like it's not here, and oh my gosh, if you guys have watched my reaction channel, you know this is something I've been complaining about literally for like a year and a half, bro. So thank goodness, bruh.
Hell yeah, we got some raised webbing here, boys! And it's not the only thing that's raised, and by that I mean my eyebrows. The music you heard there includes the first 4 notes in piano of the MCU Spider-Man theme that was composed by Michael Giacchino for 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming. Dun, 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 dun. It's not the most iconic or memorable of the themes Giacchino has composed, but he certainly understood the assignment at the time, and it is like such a good melody for this version of—
You see what I mean, bro? Do you guys see the film overlay that I'm talking about here? Like, do you see how there's like no contrast between nothing? Like everything's just meh. Like everything's just, let me stop complaining.
The character has played by Tom Holland. For what it's worth, Michael Giacchino
like, you see how flat that
shared this 9-second clip on his social media. It's hard to tell much from the close-ups of the suit, but we can tell that the texture is the same material that Peter Parker stitched his suit out of in the final scene of 2021 Spider-Man No Way Home. It has that same pseudo sparkly texture, and if you look closely, you can make out a few pixels of blue, which is the same shade of blue as the blue parts of Peter's suit when he was whipping through the snow. And yes, you are seeing a lot about raised webbing on the suit. Many of us associate this with Tobey Maguire's era of the Spider-Man suit, when Sam Raimi in the 2002 film's costumer James Ackison constructed the suit with the web pattern as a raised layer on top of the fabric, which gave Tobey's Peter more of an arachnid texture that just really popped on film. I don't know if this version of the suit has as pronounced of a
for sure not
raised webbing, or if we're just seeing it in such—
Didn't Andrew Garfield's also have it, bro?
Extreme close-up that it looks that raised, but it does.
Do I actually wear glasses or no?
Be more raised than the smooth suits that Tom Holland's Peter was always wearing, and definitely more raised than the exact suit he was wearing in those final shots of No Way Home. Also, it's kind of hard to tell, but it looks looks like the spider logo that we see in the final frames of this 9 seconds looks like it might just be a bit bigger. And right as we were recording this, a Hollywood Reporter, the Heat Vision newsletter written by our friends Aaron Couch and Boris Kitt, confirmed per their sources that Mark Ruffalo will be joining this cast as well. According to their article, Spider-Man Brand New Day has found a smashing star to join Tom Holland in the Sony/Marvel movie sequel. Mark Ruffalo is returning to reprise the role of Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, in the feature, which comes 14 years after the actor joined the MCU in the Avengers. The move had been rumored for a while, but only firmed up as the script came together and its production gears up for beginning of production.
Bro, tell me the cool stuff, bro. Is he gonna smash stuff or not, bro? I'm trying to see him smash something, bro. Pause. Pause though.
This month in England. At the same time, Michael Mando, known for his work on Better Call Saul, is returning to reprise the role of the Scorpion, the villain character whom he first played in Spider-Man Homecoming, the 2017 feature that kicked off the Holland-centric Spider-Man movies. Holland Spider-Man films have always paired him with more seasoned actors such as Robert Downey Jr. in Spider-Man Homecoming. Samuel L. Jackson.
I've heard good things about Better Call Saul. I kind of want to watch it.
Spider-Man Far From Home, and Benedict Cumberbatch, Spider-Man No Way Home, playing key characters from Iron Man, Nick Fury, and Doctor Strange.
I said, hey, yo, I don't got a bar. Do y'all got a bar? I didn't have a bar.
The movies invoke the tone of classic Marvel Team Up, this series from the 1970s and 1980s, which featured Spider-Man partnering with another hero for an escapade. Brand New Day, however, is stacking the deck. John Bernthal is also on the call sheet to reprise the role of the vigilante known as the Punisher. The plot details are being kept under the vest, but you can bet that in the mighty Marvel manner, Spider-Man, the Punisher, and Hulk will all fight one another before figuring out who the real bad guys are. Sony and Marvel had no comment. Now, this Hulk news was
if Spider-Man fights the Hulk, that would kind of be tough. I doubt that's gonna happen though. It sounds too cool. Initially
rumored by a scooper and friend of the channel, John Roca, on the Hot Mic podcast, but Boris Kitt and Aaron Couch have their own sources at the studio, and they only run with stuff like this when they have it confirmed. So this is happening. But according to the rumors that preceded this report, it sounded like we might be returning back to the savage rage monster Hulk as opposed.
I'll believe it when I see it, bro. I want to believe it so bad, but I'll believe it when I see it.
To the smart Hulk form that we saw in She-Hulk and Avengers Endgame. So there you have it. That's a pretty stacked cast for this movie. But the fact that Frank Castle is going to be part of this story makes me a bit nervous for Michael Mando as Mac Gargan Scorpion, because that's a guy who threatened to sever the head of a kid and throw it in a dryer. How do you think Frank Castle is going to feel about that? A guy who every time he looks into a corner hears his son's ghost screaming, "Get him, Daddy!" Now, another detail that was spotted on the set of Spider-Man Brand New Day in Glasgow includes these massive.
I said, hey, yo, put the gun to his brain. I'm gonna make this shit spark like my name is really Tony Stark. Okay, that's a bar, but saw it from a mile away. Okay, that's great. Saw it from a mile away though. I'm not mad at that. That's a great bar.
Tanked vehicles. Scooper Daniel Rickman claims that the shoots on this weekend of August 2nd involve Spider-Man and the Punisher fighting over a DODC transport convoy, and Daniel said that the Punisher drives this tank. However, on Friday, some onlookers noticed this red symbol on the tank, which many are interpreting as the symbol of the Inner Demons. The Inner Demons are the gang controlled by Mr. Negative in the Amazing Spider-Man run in 2008 that comes from the Brand New Day era that comes right after One More Day. Players of the Spider-Man game, where Mr. Negative is featured prominently, may also remember the Inner Demon gang that you have to fight through. In the comics, this group was once controlled by Green Goblin, but then were taken over by Mr. Negative, Martin Lee. They can regenerate their limbs, with the bar. And they deal with Mr. Negative's synthetic drug known as Shade. The man
Daryl with a bar. He said, I said, hey, yo, let me restate what they know. Stan don't got premium, but Stan got cash. Stan got dreams, hope, and Hulk smash. I said, hey, yo. At first, I thought you were dissing me, but you weren't. So the bar's amazing. 10 out of 10 bar. If you diss me, I was about to play the. Yeah, I'm biased, bro.
And who became Mr. Negative was originally part of the Chinese Snakeheads gang involved in human trafficking in New York City. This man stole the identity of a deceased Fujian slave named Martin Lee, and he was captured by the Magia crime family member Silvermane and delivered to the criminal chemist Simon Marshall, who was at the time developing a new synthetic drug called D-Light. D-Light was tested on Martin Lee along with 2 others, and it gave all 3 of them powers to manipulate the Dark Force and the Light Force. And those other 2 were actually Tyrone Johnson and Tandy Bowen, who became Cloak and Dagger. For Martin Lee, it created 2 identities, the kind-hearted Martin Lee and the villainous Mr. Negative persona. The former became a known philanthropist in New York, backing the Soup Kitchen Feast, which we saw as a homeless outreach center.
Why does every villain know how to get to some money, bruh?
in Spider-Man No Way Home, but Mr. Negative emerged as the new crime lord in the Brand New Day era to fill a void left by Kingpin. Multiverse men of No Way Home were lab experiments from other universes, who of course were brought to the MCU through magical means. In the MCU, with Wilson Fisk now serving as mayor of New York, leading his anti-vigilante task force, aside from whatever Vanessa Fisk is doing with the 5 families in the city, there is certainly a power void in which any new super criminal could emerge to fill. Kevin Feige, though, has been a bit unclear on how much the Marvel television side of New York will connect to the Marvel Studios film side. Obviously, John Bernthal's Frank Castle is joining Brand New Day after his appearance in Daredevil Born Again Season 1 and Season 2 coming at some point in 2026, and whenever his special presentation is releasing on Disney+. But when Kevin Feige was asked at a press roundtable on July 18th if the events of Thunderbolts with the Void shadow spreading across the city would get referenced in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Feige answered curtly, no. And in another update from the set, back in July, we learned the film's VFX team was creating a digital model of the Scottish Legal Life Assurance Society building in Glasgow so they could blow it up virtually for the film. And based on the exterior of this building, I'd say it kind of looks like Peter's new apartment building that we saw him in at the end of No Way Home.
One thing I'll always get to these channels, bro, they do a fantastic job at snooping. I'm gonna be honest, I clicked on this video, I was like, what could bro possibly talk about regarding Spider-Man for the next 13 minutes? Because if you look on Instagram, what they give you on Instagram is literally about 12 seconds, 13 seconds long worth of footage. And I was like, this whole video is about to be yapped, so I'm gonna just stop it where I feel like he yapping. So far, he hasn't yapped yet. Like, he's literally giving information this whole video.
At the end of No Way Home, but we do see this same building from its set in Glasgow with American flags hanging in front of it. Spider-Man Brand New Day will release on July 31st, 2026, and it's being directed by Shang-Chi director Destin Daniel Cretton. That press roundtable on
Hopefully
July 8th.
We get some really cool fight scenes, bro.
When Kevin Feige was asked about Spider-Man Brand New Day, here's what he said. I think there's a promise at the end of No Way Home that, for as sad as it is, that Peter is forgotten by everyone in his life. We are seeing for the first time in the Tom Holland Spider-Man stories him being a proper Spider-Man. Him being by himself, dedicated to saving the city and dealing with, for lack of a better term, street-level crime, as opposed to world-ending events that he faced when working with the other characters. Feige went on to talk about John Bernthal's Punisher joining the cast, saying, so when you do that, you say, okay, who are the other street-level characters that we've never seen him interact with? And of course, I love that the Punisher started in a Spider-Man comic, and that great cover. I don't want to say too much, but I will say too much. Destin is doing an amazing job right now on that movie. It starts shooting very soon, and he's got 8 or 9 comic covers up on his wall in his art department that he is bringing to life in this movie. It's super cool. So to be clear, Spider-Man Brand New Day is a joint production between Marvel Studios and Sony. It's mostly a Sony production though. Like contracts are
we trust Sony. We trust Sony. If it's one thing we trust on this side, it is Sony, so this is good.
Sony oversees the production, the crew, etc. But due to Sony's deal with Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige and his team consult on the script, the casting, and which characters and elements from the MCU will be part of the story. Which is horrible,
but we'll take what we could get. That's horrible. We don't like that, but hey.
Brand New Day will include Zendaya returning as MJ and Jacob Batalon returning as Ned Leeds, and that Sadie Sink will be joining the cast in an unknown role. Sadie Sink could be one of the new female characters introduced during the Brand New Day comic period, Carly Cooper or Lily Hollister. Carly is one of Spider-Man's first potential romantic interests in the One More Day story arc, and eventually—
No, he swaps out Zendaya. Yes. Yes. It's time for me to get the rebound. Tom, do whatever you need to do. Take your acting as far as you need to take it, bruh. This is my chance.
Is a girlfriend for a time. She's a CSI investigator and the daughter of a cop and a roller derby participant known as Crusher Carly. Lily Hollister is another friend of the friend group during this period.
I like Fantastic Four more.
Girlfriend, daughter of DA Bill Hollister, and later takes on the supervillain identity of Menace. Liza Colon Zayas from The Bear will also play an unknown role in this movie. And since Brand New Day only happens in the comics because One More Day happened, and One More Day was such a big Mephisto storyline, I apologize, but I have to bring this up. Mephisto now exists in the MCU, played by Sacha Baron Cohen.
Shout out Mephisto.
He did imply in the Ironheart finale that he has had other clients that he has attended to. I don't think Mephisto will be the villain of Spider-Man Brand New Day, but who knows? He exists in this.
They're married, not for long.
World now. While Spider-Man Brand New Day is kicking off its production in Glasgow,
I'll read it
south on
after
Hollywood Studios
this
closer to
reaction.
London, Avengers Doomsday production is still underway. We've learned from Mystique actor Rebecca Romaine that the script is still being finished. Kazra Farhani was announced as the Doomsday production designer, which seems to confirm that much of this film will be set in the 828 Universe Baxter Building and in the TVA, 2 sets that he designed and built for the MCU. Given the post-credit scene of Fantastic Four First Steps, it seems like Doomsday is going to open with the Fantastic Four arriving to the 616 universe, as we saw in that Thunderbolts post-credit scene, as they are looking for their son Franklin, who was kidnapped by Dr. Doom. But since Thunderbolts mentioned a space anomaly separate from the Four's arrival, I'm thinking part of the crazy visuals of Doomsday will be to show incursion cracks in the sky, similar to what we saw in Spider-Man No Way Home's final battle. But now those cracks will stay open, so that when characters in Doomsday look upward from Manhattan in the 616 universe, they will see, looking back down at them, the skyline of the 828 universe on one horizon, and on another horizon, an aerial view of the Westchester campus from the 10005 universe, so that going back and forth among these bridged universes won't take that long, and it'll all feel like one big shared battlefield as these universes are just getting smushed together to destroy them all. So comment down below on your thoughts on this new.
I think this new movie is gonna be good. I think they do a great job storytelling and everything else wise. Maybe not necessarily fighting wise with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I just don't like the look of the film for a couple of reasons, and it looks like they're addressing those reasons. So I can't be happier with this film. If you guys enjoyed, make sure that you like, comment twice, it helps me in the algo. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Peace.